It's Nefarious again. As I said, here is the league video now for week one. Just finished the team video. Now I'm gonna go into the league video. Um, Pretty much what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna go game by game. There's somebody else in the league that wants to do that. I'm gonna give him the opportunity to do that. If he doesn't, then I'll do it myself the following week. But right now I'm just gonna go through stats and then I'll do a quick team dive on one of the other teams in the league. So let's start here. Alright, so player stats. As you can see, my quarterback sucked. I just reported that in the team video. And forgive me for any pauses. Get a text. Alright, so let's go into the stats so far in the PML. We're gonna just go top five. As you can see, for yardage for quarterbacks, we got Josh Rosen leading off. Seahawks has a great passing attack, even though he's more known for his running game. He's usually very smart with the ball and makes good throws, good decisions. It doesn't really show here with the 4 interceptions, but it shows in the 355 yards. Following him, Dak Prescott. Cowboys has a good passing attack. That Super Bowl champion is getting off to a good start in the passing game. Let's see here. And we got Mark Torres, who's coming over to New England this week, and I'm going to have to deal with. He had a good showing, too. Couple touchdowns, couple of interceptions, but over 300 yards. And we got Andrew Luck here, who just recently got traded over to KC. He wanted he wanted to ship Patrick Mahomes. Finn, the owner of KC, wanted to ship Patrick Mahomes. Took Andrew Luck, and as you can see, a good start with the 4 TDs and almost 300 yards, 274 yards. And then last but not least, in the top 5, we got Cam Newton, 271 yards against the computer, a TD and an interception to boot. So pretty good showings for the quarterback so far. A 300-yard game is like a 400-yard game in normal NFL. So we got a couple very good games there. We're gonna jump into the rushing leaders. Top 5, we got Jalen Hurd here. He's definitely a dangerous running back. Eagles has him and McLaurin when he comes back. With them two being able to throw the ball downfield and having Jalen Hurd running the ball, it's definitely something that's tough to deal with. You got Todd Gurley here, 177 yards. If Rams Key could figure out how to run the ball with Todd Gurley, he's going to be a pretty good user in the league. The only thing about him is he starts getting throw happy and it leads to interceptions. Le'Veon Bell, the new Steelers user, shows that he could run the ball for sure. 7.5 yards per carry, a couple of touchdowns. So if he could run the ball like that every game, he's gonna be someone to look out for in that division. He won't be a walkover like the previous owners. And 4, you got Alvin Kamara. The Saints we're running at a 14.5 clip with 2 touchdowns with Kamara. That's a good showing right there. For the Cardinals, 31 carries, 150 yards, 4.8. I mean, not as flashy as these guys, but it gets the job done. He was able to control the clock with David Johnson and get first downs, so that's big. Alright, so let's move on to the receiving. Alright, so it goes by receptions, but I don't really care about receptions. We're going to go for yards here. We got John Ross tied for first in receptions and 153 yards and a couple of touchdowns. So John Ross off to a really good start. Stephon Diggs Some love to Vikings, 146 yards on 5 receptions and a touchdown. That's a good little outing for him too. D.D. Westbrook, who I'll have the pleasure of dealing with this week. Curtis Samuel, he's actually I was thinking of somebody else, but Curtis Samuel, fourth on the list with 119 yards with a touchdown. And then the rookie that torched my defense, especially my slot corner, was Velus Jones Jr. He had 115 yards on 4 receptions with a touchdown. Alright, let's take a look. Blocking doesn't really matter. We're going to go with defense. Tackles, real quick. Not as flashy of a stat, but 14 by Kendricks, 11 Perriman, Mack, and then you got Eddie Jackson. Let's go into sacks, more of a flashier stat. That defensive line in Jacksonville is going to be a pain. As you can see, one of the ends has 4 sacks already. I can see him being a nightmare for me, especially with my offensive line. Myles Garrett, who's a stud, 3.5 sacks already. Khalil Mack, 3 sacks. Barrett, oh, this is a surprise. Wouldn't expect this guy to be up here. But 3 sacks from him. Levante David, 3 sacks. Carl Lawson, who, if he stays healthy, could probably be the league leader in sacks. Don't know much about this guy, but he has 3 sacks as well. Let's see. No good power move. That's what's probably doing it. And T.J. Watt, who's a good rusher, all tied at number 3 with 3 sacks. Let's take a quick look at interceptions. So we got a 6-way tie for first with 2 interceptions. We got a Rams player, Blake Cashman here, Jaquan Johnson, John Johnson, another Rams player, Tankersley, Mark Jackson, who's been great for Cleveland. Sorry, I'm between texting and doing this. But yeah, so that's pretty much for it for the league stats. Now I'm actually going to do a deep dive into a team. Kind of freeballing it here. Didn't really do much homework. Did a little bit of homework. Didn't do much homework. So let's go into roster. Actually, let's go into depth chart and see how they have the team mapped out here. And the first user I am going to deep dive is going to be the Vikings. So we got Josh Jackson, who is the #1 guy after being selected. Was it number 5 or number 4? I think it was number 5 after being selected in the top 5, number 5 overall. As you could see, the overall was shitty, but he's going to roll with them, especially with being a high pick. As you can see, decent accuracy. The deep accuracy is where it hurts. I didn't watch the game, so I can't really tell you if it affected him that much. I mean, Stephon Diggs had a big game, and it looked like he had a lot of deep throws to him. So maybe not so much. So we take a look at the carrying ability. As you can see, 81 ball carrying vision. Hold on 1 second. Not really good host with the pausing, but gotta handle some business. All right. 79 chucking. That's something to take a look at, especially with a quarterback, a 6'1" quarterback at that. But 73 overall, decent accuracy, pretty good throw power. He's gonna develop him. He could possibly be a real problem if he does develop him well with that 84 speed as well. And as a backup, he's got Jalen Hurts, who is also a great mobile quarterback for him. The acceleration for Josh Jackson might be a little bit of a hit, um, especially in this league for a running quarterback. All right, so now we're going to take a look at running backs. He's got Josh Jacobs, who we acquired in a trade, as his number one. 95 speed, 92 acceleration. You could already tell he wants to have a high flying offense, just by the quarterback being a mobile quarterback. And you got Josh Jacobs, who's going to be a zone runner. He's not really going to run up the middle. That's what he's got Sony Michel for. As far as the rotation, he probably rotates him in and out here and there, depending on the run he wants to run or if he's throwing it. It's a lot of stuff that normal users would do is have two different backs like this, and one power, one elusiveness, and let it roll that way. Fullback really doesn't matter. He has a rookie. Good for you. Let's go over to wide receiver. We got Stephon Diggs, who we just went into, who's in top 5 in receiving this so far this season. He's an absolute beast. Great route running, great catching traffic. As you can see, 96 catching traffic. His wide receiver situation isn't the best, but it isn't the best. He has a couple good speed guys here. Down here, Jalen Reagor. I don't know if he's gonna use him much, but with that 96 speed, he'll probably plug him in once in a while, have him run a go route. So we got. All right, so where I leave off, sorry again. DK Metcalf, who he acquired from the Cowboys. Not really the best speed. He might have got robbed by the PML gods with that, and his NCAA profile that got transferred over. But Vikings really likes him, so he's going to be number 2 for him. I don't know how effective he'll be, but with Stephon Diggs, he could take that risk really. So basically, from the wide receiver standpoint, you got Stephon Diggs, and then you got some speed guys, and DK Metcalf, who's going to be a red zone target for him. Tight end, wow, he's got Kyle Rudolph actually backing up. As you can see, like I said earlier, he wants a high-flying offense. He's got the 89 speed tight end in over Kyle Rudolph, who's probably the better all-around tight end, but his speed is what's killing him. Offensive line, left tackle is definitely hurting, but pretty good pass. Pass block, run block. Let's take decent pass block, pretty decent run block, a good building block, that's for sure. That if he's able to really get into it, 84 pass block base and run block base is 85, so it's a pretty good piece to build. Left guard, another young guy, 6'8", 320. Wow, that's definitely a big boy. Let's see. Nothing too great here either. Definitely not as a pass blocker. If I was him, I'd probably put him at right guard or right tackle, put him on the strong side and run behind him. If anything, we'll develop him in that way. He definitely doesn't have the pass block for the left side of the line. If that's just how I look at it. Holy crap! Another big boy. This guy got nothing but big boys all throughout the lineup. 6'6", 6'8", and then you got 6'7" here. And then you got 6'7" rookie. Pretty good pass block here, and good run block. Definitely a solid guy as far as good at everything. Doesn't excel too much at one thing. Good lead block, so I mean you don't really see the center swinging around on a power, but we'll see what happens there. But good lead block on him. Maybe you could even think about moving him to guard and moving the 6'8" guy to center, just because of that lead block. Alright, right guard. Pretty much the same thing. This guy's actually really weak, and finally a small guy. At 6'3", if you want to consider that small, but a lot smaller. Um, let's go to right tackle. So he he might be one of the only guys with a worse offensive line situation than I am. So, yeah, so he might have a worse offensive line than I do, and that's saying a lot. I mean, my interior line is pretty good, but as you can see, I got sacked 6 times. Maybe some of that was coverage sacks, though. Um, Adam Anderson. I actually remember seeing him. I think he got a good role, maybe even superstar on his development trait. As you can see, 75 overall. Good speed, great acceleration, agility, um, good finesse move. He's gonna be a problem after trading Danielle Hunter as well. So that's gonna be big for him as far as a replacement. He has Montez Sweat. So right now his ends are developing, but have a chance to be really good, especially Anderson, who's got great speed. Sweat, does he really have? Yeah, he doesn't have the size or strength to kick into the interior line. Um, maybe he'll build him. Maybe he'll draft somebody else or look on a trade block for somebody else. Um, I'm not sure how much he likes him. Defensive tackle, good signing. Damon Harrison to clog up the middle for him. And then he's got Sheldon Richardson, who's a good power rusher in the middle as well. Well, Snacks is pretty good himself too, but he's a good backup. Does he run a 3-4 or 4-3? I gotta take a look at that. I'll take a look at that after I'm done running through the team. Clay Matthews, he said there's been a big pickup. I think he had a sack in the first game. Well, not a huge pickup, but he's contributing a bit for him. He had a sack in the first game. Uh, let's see. Just give me 1 second. Gotta shoot a quick text. All right. Middle linebacker, a lot of speed here. As you can see, 88 speed, 88 speed, 89 speed. Um, he, he wants a high flying team, either defense, offense. You can call it a mutt team if you want, but he wants speed everywhere. Which makes sense because speed is key, especially in Madden. Um, not high overalls. Etheridge 77 overall, but with that speed, you don't really need a high overall. You got Malik Reed here. So based on what I'm seeing, he might run a 3-4. It looks like that because there's not a lot of speed on the outside linebackers, so it looks like they might even be edge rushers. So having Montez Sweat in the middle like that, it seems like Montez Sweat and Adam Anderson are both 4-3 ends instead of a 3-4 end. When I think of 3-4 end, I'm thinking Tuitt, um, Bosa, bigger guys, J.J. Watt, big guys in the middle that could power rush and get through the interior line and be able to stop the run as well. Yeah, he shot me a message saying 3-4. Yeah, I could kind of tell now, but I don't see our ends being a 3-4 end. Um, I would say 4-3 if anything, and that seems to be more of their fit. But then again, I'm 0-1, you're 1-0, so who am I to talk? Um, Cornerback, kind of a weakness for him. Xavier Rhodes, is he injured? Yeah, he's injured. Not having Xavier Rhodes definitely hurts, but Malcolm Butler is right now his number one, and that 88 speed is going to get him hurt. 92 speed, good speed. Let's go to free safety. Darnell Savage. This is a pretty good free safety. I mean, I don't know. He's more of a strong safety to me because of his speed. That free safety, I like to have somebody with a little more speed, at least 90, 89, 89 to 92. If you have somebody even better, like I put Fabian Moreau as my free safety. He's a 95 speed, great jump, good zone coverage. So he's been solid for me. Not the greatest tackler, but he does the job. And this might be why he's got him at free safety. You got Harrison Smith as strong safety. A prototype for strong safety, Harrison Smith. Definitely the star of the defense. He was in the top 50 a season ago. I don't know if he'll be in the top 50 this season. Haven't really got enough lists from people. Get about 5-6 lists. So hopefully we start getting lists to really have that thing take off. So that's pretty much the depth chart. What I got from his depth chart, he runs a 4-3-4, but he seems like he got more 4-3 guys, especially with the two defensive ends who are tall but not very bulky, not very strong in the middle. I actually didn't really take a look at Adam Anderson's strength, but let's take a look at that real quick. I'm gonna take a look at all his rookies and see what kind of development trait they got. Quick for Jalen Hurts. I mean, that's a tough call. Jalen Hurts has a quick. He's 22, 73 overall, and so he's a year younger and has a better development grade than Josh Jackson. But hey, you go which way you feel comfortable with. Alright, so then you got Sony Michel, Josh Jacobs. I assume Josh Jacobs is going to be the number one. As you saw in the depth chart, he is the number one, but let's see how many carries he gets. Take a look at his injury rating. 86, but there's no other rookie here, so he doesn't have anybody there. Rookie Connor Slomka, I guess. Let's take a look at his blocking. His run block is decent. Impact block is decent. Lead block is decent. Oh well, good lead block at 81. Good speed. Definitely somebody that could do both for him. Oh my god. Jeez. Trying to fly through this right now. Let's take a look. So a rookie here. I don't know if he selected him. Selected him in the draft, but he's got a normal rating. Nothing to bat an eye at. Doyle, who's another rookie. Normal rating. Not sure if he selected him in the draft. Let's see. Nick Brahms. He sent him to training camp, so he probably selected him. He got it quick, not too bad. Somebody you might definitely want to develop. Alright, Adam Anderson, he got a star rating. Alright, so it was a speed rating, super star rating, but it was a star rating. Like I said, I think he's a 4-3. What's that strength like? 75 strength. Yeah, he seems like a 4-3 end, if anything. Montez Sweat, 78 strength. Both very light, very small defensive ends. I mean, they're tall, but they're weak and smaller. So, as a 3-4, I don't really see it. Let's take a look. Was Sweat? When was he drafted? He's got 2 years experience. Etheridge, big pick here. Only got a normal. That's a tough hit. Warner, normal. That's also a tough hit. Right here, Ben Davis. He probably signed him. I don't remember him selected. That guy. Yeah. So that's pretty much it for the deep dive. You know, has quarterback situation here. Um, Offensive line needs to be developed. Um, Needs a backup wide receiver besides DK Metcalf, unless he's okay with just tossing it up to Stephon Diggs and getting him suspended. Um, needs needs a corner. I mean, he's okay with uh, Xavier Rhodes now, but in the future he'll need a corner. Don't see a 3-4 scheme. See a 4-3 scheme with his defense. Even though he has the edge rushers on the outside linebacker slots, if anything, I would move uh, Anderson to an outside linebacker slot and try to develop him that way. He's got the speed for it. Um, Maybe he has already done that. I'm not sure, but that's how I would do it. I wouldn't put them on the inside. I would I would have two bigger guys on the inside and have my edge rushers on the outside on the outside linebacker, because those guys will just get run over as far as the run game. Um, but overall, a good team. Was a better team. I think it actually took a step back over the years, just because he wants to fit scheme. So it's not really his fault. It's not nobody's fault. It's just he wanted to fit scheme, and that's what just happened. Um, but yeah, that's gonna complete the deep dive of this team. Um, I'll probably do 2 a week. Uh, Going forward, I'm doing one just because we're up against it. We got to advance in about 5 minutes, so um, I'm just trying to bang this out and get this over with. I'll go through the stats every time, go through the team, and then we'll see if the other user ends up doing the games. If not, I'll start doing that. A quick rundown of the games, who won, who lost, all that bull crap. But that's gonna be it for me. It was a pleasure. Thanks for sticking with. It was a pleasure. Thanks for sticking with me. Sorry for the pausing and all that. Just a little text on the side. But that's gonna complete it, and y'all have a good night.